apologize for not immediately making this video yesterday. I didn't realize that the breaking news about the 4 Beatle biopics would be a long video. Um, kind of, I didn't mean that for that. So today we're talking about what I wanted to talk about before, about this Kurt Cobain inspired movie. Now, I know what you're thinking, inspired movie? Well, this movie is it's a bit strange. We're gonna get into it. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get into it. It's called Last Days, a movie from 2005 that was released on July 22nd. That was made and written and produced by Gus Van Sant. If that name sounds familiar to you, we reviewed one of his movies before. My Own Private Idaho, my favorite movie of all time because it has River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves, and it's not the only movie they were in together. They were in this movie I Love You to Death. It was like a pizza movie with Kevin Kline, but that's besides the point. So we're gonna get into everything about this movie, and I hope you enjoy. So before we get into the plot of the movie, it's important we talk about the relation to the other Van Sant films, as apparently this movie is the third and final installment in what Van Sant has frequently called his Death Trilogy, which began with Gary in 2002 and continued with Elephant in 2003. I think I had to watch Elephant for... No, I never watched Elephant. I thought I did, but I didn't. The dialogue and narration in all three films are minimal, and scenes do not proceed linearly. As in Elephant, scenes are revisited from new angles, starting at different points in time, without a signal to viewers that the clock has been turned back up and a previous scene is being revisited. In a later film, Paranoid Park from 2007, Van Sant used the same technique. Also, as in other films, many of the actors' characters' names are the same as their actual first names. Which I'm not sure if this is true for this movie, because Michael Pitt plays a character named Blake, who is based on Kurt Cobain, which is why people think it's a Kurt Cobain film, because the poster, when you look at it, you think, is this a Kurt Cobain biopic? I mean, it would make sense because it's 2005, but nope, it's not a Kurt Cobain biopic at all. So now with that out of the way, let's get into the plot. So before I get into the plot, I should also add one more thing. Kim Gordon is in this movie, and she's Kurt Cobain's, I think, sister or half-sister. So the fact that she's in this movie as a record executive should prove to you that this isn't really a Kurt Cobain film. I mean, she could still cameo in the film regardless, but it's still not a Kurt Cobain film. It's just a film inspired by Kurt Cobain. So, a young musician named Blake sneaks out of a rehab clinic and walks home through a forest, also swimming through a lake and then lighting a fire for the night. The next day, he gets home and changes his clothes. He walks around in the house with a shotgun, pointing it at his sleeping roommates Scott, Luke, Asia, and Nicole. He is greeted by Yellow Pages representative Thaddeus A. Thomas, who talks to him about placing an ad in an upcoming book. He receives a phone call from his record company telling him that he and his band have to do another tour and that it is important they make the book dates. But Blake hangs up. He goes upstairs and falls asleep on the floor in one of the rooms. Asia wakes up and finds him asleep as two LDS missionaries arrive at the door. Scott and Luke answer the door, and the two missionaries talk to them about their church and his teachings. Blake changes into different clothes and leaves the house for the shed outside as the missionaries leave. Scott, Luke, Asia, and Nicole leave, and Blake goes back into the house. His friend Donovan and a private detective come to the house, and Blake leaves as they look around the house for him. He waits for them to leave before he enters the house again. He messes with the guitars and drums, putting them on loop with his vocals. He stops when his record executive, played by Kim Gordon, comes over and tries to have him leave with her, but Blake refuses. Blake goes to a rock club that night, where a friend of his comes up to him and tells him about how he went to a Grateful Dead concert. Blake leaves before his friend can finish telling the story. Blake goes back home, where Scott takes some of his money, and Luke asks for help from Blake on a song. Scott tells Luke that Donovan had a private detective with him and that they should leave. After Scott and Luke have sex upstairs... Wait, there's a gay sex scene in this movie? Huh. Wait, I know who Luke Haas is. It's weird. But I don't know who Scott Patrick Green is. Anyways, Blake plays acoustic one last time before walking out to the shed, where he sits quietly, watching his roommates leave. They spend the night at their friend's house and awake the next morning to see the news announcing that Blake died by suicide and an electrician found his body. Scott, Nicole, Luke get in the car and leave, driving down a highway while Luke plays the guitar in the back seat. As you could tell from that ending, it's a bit similar to how Kurt Cobain tragically died. So, there's that. And as I finish talking about the plot, we can get into the background, where Van Sant has contemplated about this project for nearly a decade. Van Sant has stated that he had contemplated about the project for nearly a decade. At one time, he wanted to do a biopic about Kurt Cobain, but decided against the idea out of concern over the potential of a lawsuit by Cobain's widow. She who must not be named, always ruining everything. Van Sant was unsure how Cobain's fans and family would react to Last Days. He spoke to She who must not be named several times over the years about his project, and recently expressed his concern that it might be painful for her to see the film. Actress Asia Argento stated, "It's been written that I play She Who Must Not Be Named. It's not true. I am so upset. I don't know why people say that. I feel very sorry for her. She's been demonized, and I feel sorry for anybody that's lost like that. But no, I play a character that's very dorky. And that's everything. Well, not everything, because we're going to get into the legacy of the film, which is where we pivot into the opera. Before talking about the opera, it's important to also say that this movie was the influence for Bruce Wayne in The Batman. That's what Director Matt Reeves has said. So, the film was adapted into an opera by the same name by British composer Oliver Leith and visual artist Matt Copson, which premiered last year at the Linbury Theatre as a corporation of Guildhall School of Music and Drama and the Royal Opera House, which features French actress Agatha Rousselet in the role of Blake. So, let's get into that, because I was very curious when I saw this, and it was the whole reason I wanted to make this video in the first place. So, let's just get into that. Let's just scroll a bit. The Last Days is a new opera adapted from the film by Gus Van Sant that, okay, come on, no, I can't read the article. Damn you. Shit. Can't read the article. And I just got spit on my computer. Of course I did. Well, I guess that's the end of the video then, since I can't read the article, but, don't misinterpret this, because we're going to be talking about something else today. We're going to be talking about how Peter Tork, my favorite autistic boy, contributed to a song with George Harrison.